Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, sport, and the Olympic movement in particular, has long stood as a symbol of peace, dialogue, and mutual respect among nations. But in a world increasingly marked by conflict and instability, we must ask ourselves the difficult but necessary question: does the principle of neutrality in sport still serve the core values it claims to uphold: fairness, human dignity, and peace? Neutrality and autonomy are essential principles in sport. They safeguard fairness, ensure global participation, and protect sport from political exploitation. When these principles are cast aside, sport risks becoming a tool of division rather than unity. My party firmly believes that sport must remain above politics. Let us be unequivocal. We condemn all acts of war and aggression, but we also draw a vital distinction between those who make political decisions and those who dedicate their lives to sport. It is not the athlete who commands armies. It is not the athlete who drafts policies of oppression. It is the athlete who trains, who competes, who inspires, across borders, beyond ideologies. Why should athletes not serve as symbols of unity in times of division? Should they not embody the very peace and reconciliation that the Olympic Charter proclaims? We hold that athletes, regardless of their nationality, must be allowed to compete under the national flag, even in times of geopolitical tensions. Denying them this right undermines not only the unifying spirit of sport, but also punishes individuals for the actions of their governments, actions over which they have no control. We do not believe that excluding individual athletes based on nationality will bring us any closer to peace. It is neither just nor effective. It risks turning sport into a tool of division rather than a vehicle for unity and understanding. If we are serious about honoring the ancient Greek tradition of ekecheira, the Olympic truth, when we must do more than commemorate it in words. Ekecheira was not symbolic, it was binding, a sacred commitment among warring states to suspend hostilities during the Games. Let us have the courage to act in the same spirit. As rightly stated in the report, sport has an undeniable economic weight, and it will increasingly become an instrument of economic pressure. This reality makes one thing clear: sport is not, and has perhaps never truly has been, neutral. But instead of lamenting this fact, why not turn it into a constructive opportunity? Let us be brave and send a clear political message. The Olympic Games should only be held under conditions of peace, for instance, within the framework of a verified ceasefire. Such a condition would not only uphold the moral integrity of the Games, but would also generate significant macroeconomic and diplomatic leverage, capable of influencing political decisions where it truly counts. Of course, we must also acknowledge the other side of this equation. All athletes would be affected. This in contrast to what I just mentioned earlier. But perhaps, in the name of peace and shared responsibility, this temporary sacrifice could become a symbol of global solidarity, a unified call to end violence and to restore peace.